So as you people know very well, we were discussing or revision of first chapter is going on. So same we are going to continue right now. And all of you are supposed to follow it, listen it very attentively. So
How much of certain mineral or resource is available? For example, what is the quantity of
yes,
coal
clear,
left in
bache?
a country? Or what grade of coal do we
Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. It is clear. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just hold on.
have? Because you see, these all are important because these all determines the cost of that resources in the international market. And then we need to have proper technology skill and institutional setup for implementing resource development plans. Conservation of resources. So overutilization of resources will lead to socio-economic and environmental.
So this already we people have done thoroughly, and we know it very well. Conservation of resources, one of the right now we can say major requirement. We have to conserve our resources. We have to save our resources, because if we won't, then we will face certain environmental problem. Like right now, we are facing such problems.
Problems. So to overcome these problems, just like resource planning is important, we also need to do resource conservation. And the next topic is land resources. So land is the most important natural resource because it supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, economic activities like transport, communication systems, etc. So we also need a careful planning in terms of.
So we know very well land is the most important resource. Whatever we do, wherever we are doing, whatever we are doing, everything we are doing on a land. So land is a basic resource.
The usage of land. So India has a variety of relief features like mountains, plateaus, plains and islands. And all of this plays an important role in some way or the other. For example, it is because of the mountains that we have perennial rivers.
So we know very well, we are already people have done, we are rich in different kind of relief feature. We have mountains, plateau, plain. We have 30% area is under mountainous area.
That flow continuously and forms some rivers. And because of the flow of these rivers, the plain lands of India has rich fertile soil for agriculture. And because of islands, we have huge coral depositions and that attracts a lot of water species and fisheries. And then the plateau regions are rich.
So we should know mountainous area is almost 30%, 43% is a plain area and 27% is a plateau area. So all these relief feature, if you are talking about mountainous, plateau or plain, they have their own resource value. Resource value in the sense, if we are talking about plateau area, we know it's full of minerals. So because of minerals are available, so mining is a prominent activity here. If you're talking about mountainous area, we know it is full of different kind of resource. The prominent resource which we get from mountainous area, that is water resource in the form of rivers. So rivers are there, and because of rivers, we say whole of India, they are getting water, and because of this, life is possible. Life is possible here. So same is with the plain area. We no need to say what plain area. Plain area means rich in agriculture, rich in industry. So enough resources are available in a plain area. So 43% is a plain area, 30% is a mountainous area, 27% is a plateau area.
Rich in reserves like minerals, fossil fuels, and forests. So you understand how much land is important and what all we get from it. Now let's read about the utilization of land. So
Very
land.
important, all of you should know 1 mark may 5 mark question can be asked on this, or 1 mark question can be asked on this, or even statement based question can be asked on this land utilization, how we are utilizing the land, what is the use of the land, how we are using it. So you should know about it thoroughly.
Land is used for following purposes. First one, forest. So in India, according to the law, 33% of the land should be given to forest area because that will maintain the ecological balance. Then we have land not available for cultivation. So either they are barren or wasteland, or the lands that are there.
So forests, right now we have only 21% area under forest. How much area should be under forest? 33. Means जितना हमारा geographical area of India है, जितना area है, उसका 33% area should be under forest. So right now it is not so. Next is land not available for cultivation. We have a land which is not available for cultivation because of its our other activities. Maybe land is under buildings, roads, factories, industries, etc. Maybe land is barren and wasteland. So definitely barren and wasteland. So definitely we people can convert it लैंड नॉट अवेलेबल फॉर कल्टीवेशन, यहाँ पे हम खेती बाड़ी नहीं कर सकते। क्यों नहीं कर सकते? बिकॉज लैंड इज बैरन, लैंड बंजर है, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा वहां पे। लैंड वेस्ट है, माशी है, स्वैम्पी है, चिक्कड़ है, दलदली है। तो ये जो बैरन एंड वेस्ट लैंड, डेफिनेटली we can reduce a percentage of barren and wasteland, and we can convert this barren and wasteland into a cultivable land. This is in our hand. लैंड पुट टू नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल यूजेस, मतलब जो लैंड, अगर हम नदर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया की बात करें, होल ऑफ द लैंड इज एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड, बट हमें वी हैव टू कंस्ट्रक्ट रोड, वी हैव टू लिव समवेयर, वी नीड फैक्ट्रीज। सो ये हम, इट्स नॉट रॉन्ग, ये गलत नहीं कहेंगे, हम ये नहीं कहेंगे कि एग्रीकल्चर लैंड को कैप्चर किया, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, बट दिस लैंड, एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड इज अंडर वेरियस अदर यूजेस
in urban areas for building and roads and factories. And then we have other uncultivated lands such as lands that are permanent for pastures and grazing land.
permanent pastures and grazing land, if we are talking about, actually we need it. इसमें जो permanent pastures and grazing land day by day is decreasing, but it should not be on a decreasing order. ये इतना डिक्रीज नहीं होना चाहिए। क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए? बिकॉज एज ऑलरेडी आई हैव टोल्ड यू, वी हैव मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ एनिमल्स इन आवर कंट्री, बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द क्वालिटी, we have enough quantity, but when we talk about the quality, our qualities, the quality of animals, that is nowhere. Why it is nowhere is definitely because we don't give them proper fodder crops. Why we don't give them proper fodder crops? Because we are, Indian population is number 2nd in the world, so we need more area for food crops. So we are growing crops for our own need, and अपने खाने पीने के बाद, अपनी crops को काटने के बाद, whatever residue is left, that is given as a food to animal. That is called, we call it as a food to animal, which is not actually their nutritious diet. So permanent pastures and grazing land होनी चाहिए। यहाँ पे we can grow crops for animals. यहाँ पे हम fodder crops को grow कर सकते हैं, वो नहीं हो रही है, उनका नंबर बहुत कम है, जो कि is disastrous. It should be bit more.
And then we have land that has been allotted to certain tree crops. And then we have the wasteland, which is also called
Land under miscellaneous tree crops or groves. It means जो burial घाट्स हैं, burning घाट्स हैं, cremation grounds हैं, miscellaneous tree crops, जैसे हम आसपास कहीं कहीं पेड़ देख रहे हैं, जैसे we talk about our school, land under miscellaneous tree crops. Next is cultivable wasteland. Cultivable, this land can be cultivated, but waste है ये. This land has turned into a wasteland. Cultivable wasteland, the land which we are not cultivating from last 5 years. 5 साल से ज्यादा टाइम हो चुका है, हम उस लैंड को यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो लैंड एज इट इज पड़ी हुई है। And I always say this land generally belongs to NRI. If you're talking about our state, Punjab, cultivable wasteland, land which is good for cultivation, but people have bought the land, they had left the land as it is, no activities taking place on that land, so that land had turned into a cultivable wasteland, the land which is left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years.
called the dump land, wherein all the city garbage is dumped. And then we have fallow lands. So fallow lands are those lands which are meant for agricultural purpose, but due to some reason, agriculture has not been performed for several years, and the land is completely empty. And then we have the net sown areas. It is the total area.
So current fallow land, the land which is left uncultivated for 1 or less than 1 है, मतलब 1 साल से हमने उस लैंड के ऊपर कुछ नहीं किया, या 5 महीनों से या 7 महीनों से we have done nothing on that land. This is known as current fallow land. And other than current fallow land, that is from 1 to 5 years. So it means fallow land we can divide into 3 parts. First, current fallow, less than 1 year. अगर हम उस जमीन पे कुछ नहीं ग्रो करें, then that land is known as current fallow land. Other than current fallow land, 1 से 5 साल तक उस लैंड के ऊपर कुछ भी नहीं किया है. More than 5 years, land would become cultivable wasteland. So 3 categories of fallow land we have.
Area where the crops are sowed, which means that land is functional for agricultural purpose. Now let's read about the land use pattern in India. So the use of land is determined by both physical as well as the human factor. Now physical factors are topography.
Topography is relief, use of the land. So definitely if land is mountainous area, we can't construct industries there. If topography is very plain area, so definitely the land would be used either for agriculture or for industries. Topography कैसी है? That decide the use of the land.
Climate, soil type, etc. And human factor is the population, density, technological capability and culture traditions.
So what does it mean? जो land को हम use कैसे कर रहे हैं? That basically depends on all these factors. Topography कैसी है? climate कैसा है, do we are technically very advanced, do we have the capability, do we have skill, do we have enough population, quality of population is good. इन सभी के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है how we are using the land. एक लैंड है जिसमें मिनरल्स बहुत ज्यादा हैं, बट लोगों को मिनरल्स का पता नहीं है, they don't have a technology, they are not skilled worker, they will just live there and they will do cultivation there. ठीक है, एक humanity group of people है, those who know about, they have knowledge, they have skill, they know about mining, they know about technology, तो वो क्या करेंगे, उसी लैंड में से मिनरल्स निकाल के डेवलपमेंट कैन टेक प्लेस. सो डिपेंड कर रहा है लोग कैसे वहां पे रह रहे हैं, एजुकेटेड है, स्किल्ड है, नॉलेजेबल है, या ट्रेडिशनल है, अनएजुकेटेड है, अनस्किल्ड है, और दे डोंट हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी इन दैट. सो जैसे लोग होंगे उस हिसाब से उस एरिया की डेवलपमेंट हो जाएगी.
Now, there is a difference in the land in the plain area and land in the mountainous region. Because in the plain area, it is good for agriculture, and in the mountainous area, it is not that good for agriculture because the land is not suitable. Similarly, climate is very important. If the climate is cold, then the land in that region is suitable for certain types of crops. For example, you see tea plantation. It is famous in the mountainous region of Darjeeling and in the hills of Coromandel region in south. So both this place has mountainous terrain and the temperature is comparatively cooler than the other parts of the country. And then we also have soil that determines the usage of land. So if a particular land has nice alluvial soil, it is good for agriculture. Now coming to the human factor, population density determines how many people are staying in a particular place. Usually you will see high density of population near the plain areas. That is the region of Delhi, UP, Bihar, Kolkata, because there you have the tributaries of river Ganga, and over the years it has formed plain soil which are good for agriculture. So you see how there is a relation between the physical factor and the human factor, and then we have the technological capability. So places like Hyderabad and Bangalore, which are the IT hub of the country, meaning these places are technologically advanced, so it has given massive boost to the service sector, and a lot of people today are employed.
So very natural, South India, technologically, IT sector is well developed. That's why we have much more skilled labor there. Skilled workers are there. If we are talking about North India, we have agricultural land. This area is rich in farmers. So we have more number of farmers are found here. Less educated, but more farmers.
In these technological industries. So you see how technology plays an important role. And then we have the culture and traditions. Now places such as Banaras, Haridwar, these are the famous religious places in India. Again, the land use of these areas are so much determined by the human factors. So I hope you get what I'm trying to say. The next topic is land degradation and conservation measures. So this is a topic about how lands in
Land degradation, deterioration of land, decreasing the quality of land, depletion of the land, land की quality का बद से बदतर हो जाना is degradation of land. And next is conservation, how to conserve, how to save the land.
India are getting degraded, and what are the measures that we are taking to conserve it? You see how human activities has brought degradation of land. So
we are actually responsible for, matlab major part we say human beings are actually responsible for the degradation of land. Undoubtedly, natural causes are also there, but here we are talking about ourselves. Let's see.
The degradation is direct and some are indirect. So for example, cutting the trees in a forest is a direct cause of degradation of land because it can cause landslides and other natural calamities.
So look at this, this is landslide. Whole of this area, ये माउंटेन का पार्ट था, ये स्लाइडेड डाउन हो गया, ये नीचे धस गया, नीचे गिर गया है. So this is called landslide. This is our top of the mountain. This you can see road is going here. ये सारी रोड क्या होगी, disappear हो गई. Look at this distorted road. क्यों हो गई? Because of this landslide. Landslide क्यों हो रहा है? Because we have cut down the forests. So then what if we have cut down the forest? उसकी roots हैं, जो जैसे हम छोटी क्लासेस से करते आ रहे हैं, roots of the plant they always hold the soil together. But अगर roots नहीं होंगी, roots क्यों नहीं होंगे? क्योंकि पेड़ों को काट दिया. Trees we have cut down, roots are not there, soil has become loose. So whenever rainfall take place, internal underground water is there. So this makes the land very soft, and थोड़ा सा भी हो तो soil erosion is common.
Similarly, dumping industrial waste on a
So dumping industrial waste. This is with हमारे तो we have very good example of dumping industrial waste within Jalandhar. जो that is towards Kapurthala Chowk river is here. We are taking an example of Chehedu side. We have a river. We can see it, this water is extremely dirty. It's just because of chemicals which get mixed with this dirty water, with water, makes the river water dirty. Not for us, but for the many aquatic life also. Very much risky.
Flat land or a river causes damage to the soil and hence affecting the quality of agriculture produced on that land. So here are some activities which causes such degradation. They are overgrazing, then we have deforestation.
So overgrazing, when animals are grazing the land, but it is over without any plan. Deforestation, cutting down the forest, mining. We have mined the area, but without bothering about how to restore it.
Then mining, quarrying. So all these things significantly contribute towards land degradation. So here are some of the places where you can see land degradation in excess.
So ये मैंने तभी बोला था, and I'm repeating, this map can be asked. So you should know about it. So first we have areas like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, MP, Odisha. Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, MP, Odisha. These all are eastern, jo Chota Nagpur plateau area ki, all these states are located there. And these areas, mining is a prominent activity. So that's why, due to mining, maximum degradation of the land has taken place. Gujarat, MP, Maharashtra, Rajasthan. In these areas, because we know dry area hai ye sare, and we have overgrazing is a prominent reason for this degradation. Punjab, Haryana, Western UP. Enough water is there, so over irrigation is the reason responsible for degradation.
They are Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha. These are largely affected due to mining. And then we have states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra, where overgrazing is done excessively. And then other states like Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh. So here over irrigation is responsible for land degradation. And then some of the industries like cement industry, ceramic industry. So all these releases industrial effluents and waste that becomes
Industrial effluents, whatever is coming out from the industry, cement industry, soapstone, ceramic industry, जितने भी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, अगर वो अपना सॉलिड या लिक्विड वेस्ट डाल रही हैं रिवर्स में, लैंड के ऊपर डंप कर रही हैं, ऑटोमेटिकली इट वुड मेक द लैंड डिग्रेडेड,
as well major source behind degradation of
as well as it will make the water impure.
Land as well as water pollution. Now some of the steps or measures to solve the problems of land.
Now this is conservation of land degradation, conservation of land. How can we save the land from further degradation?
Degradation are afforestation, which means
afforestation means growing of crops, trees.
Planting more trees, and then proper management of grazing.
So
Sand
wherever
dunes causes soil erosion.
Wherever grazing is taking place, that area should be properly managed. So then is shelter belts. We should grow more and more trees around sandy area. We should construct a wall against around sandy area. We should make a fence around sandy area. That is shelter belts, just to reduce the speed of the wind for the so that movement of sand dunes should not take place.
So a good way is to grow thorny bushes that will stop the soil erosion due to sand dunes. So all these things you can just read up quickly. Proper management of wastelands, controlling of mining activities, proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluent.
So whenever industries when liquid waste is coming out, we should not throw it as it is. We should first of all treat it. We should purify it. And after purifying, we should throw water in the river so that it should not affect aquatic life. But actual में India में बिल्कुल भी ऐसा नहीं होता. We people are actually least bothered about the environment. And that is a fact.
So these are some of the crucial steps that needs to be taken towards controlling of land degradation. And the last topic of this chapter is soils. So after land, it is the soil that is the most important resource. And it is also renewable
natural resource. Most important है renewable. It can be renewed. Every day, every second it is getting renewed. And the soils are important because we get crops from this. And crops are required for our survival, for the survival of plants. And crops are also required for industries, agro-based industries. So soil होगी तभी food होगा. Food होगा तो economic activities होगी.
Resource, remember that. Renewable means replenishes. So how do we get soil? Soil is brought down by the running flow of river. So every time a river flows, it brings large chunk of plain soil. That's why it is called renewable natural resource. Now it is very important for plant growth as well as it supports many types of living organisms. So if you look at this diagram, it shows us the soil profile. So on the top layer, we have the soil layer, which is called the upper soil layer. And below that, we have the subsoil.
So topsoil, topmost layer of soil, which people can see, subsoil, which is under this soil. Then is substratum, weathered parent rock material, जिससे हमारी rock soil बनती है. Unweathered parent rock, जिससे हमारी मतलब जो बिल्कुल base है land के नीचे, जो पेरेंट रोग है igneous, metamorphic या sedimentary.
which is the weathered rocks, sand and silt and clay. So that's why in many places if you dig through the top layer, so just in a matter of few feet you will witness wet soil, or in other words it's called silt or clay. And below that we have the substratum, which is called weathered parent rock material, and then below that we have the unweathered parent.
मैम हमारी क्लास में 7C की कशिश
Unweathered.
भगत घुसती है।
What? Speak again, beta ji.
मैम हमारी क्लास में कशिश भगत आ गई है 7C की।
Okay, no problem, you just carry on.
They are large chunk of rocks or boulders. So the meaning of weathering is over the time a piece of rock gets weathered into small pieces of debris which form soil. So unweathered means which is a still large solid chunk of bedrock. The next topic
Unweathered,
is the
unweathered is
classification
still,
of soils. Now this topic is well
unweathered means the area which is not being weathered, कोई उसके ऊपर असर नहीं हो रहा है, still it is in a natural state, कोई deforestation कुछ भी नहीं हुआ उसके ऊपर.
covered in a separate video, soils, that is of chapter 6 geography NCERT class 11. The link to the video is in the description as well as on the screen.
So we have various classification of soil. We have different type of soil because in India we have various relief features, we have various landforms, we have various climatic conditions, and we have various vegetation types. That's why we have various type of soil. We have alluvial soil, we have black soil, we have red soil, we have mountainous soil, we have dastic soil. So many soils we are having.
Or you can also look at the top right corner of this video screen. Well versed with the different types of soil. And the last topic of this chapter is,
So if you are talking about all the soils of India, first of all, say alluvial soil, that is the most widespread soil, most fertile soil made by the deposition of the sediments which are brought down by rivers. We have alluvial soil particularly found in northern part of India, which include Punjab, Haryana, West Bengal, UP, Bihar, and southeastern coastal areas, which is made by Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri rivers. And this soil we can basically divide into two parts, Khadar and Bangar soil. Khadar soil is very fertile soil, new alluvium soil made up of very fine grains found in the lower course of a river. And Bangar soil, second type of alluvial soil, which is made up of coarse grain, which is not at all fertile soil, yeah, less fertile soil we can say, and which is basically found in the upper course of a river. So second soil we have black soil which is formed due to volcanic eruption. Whenever igneous rocks are formed, lava comes out and lava solidify, cool down, then we have black soil. And black soil is also known as ragut soil. Black soil is also known as cotton soil because this soil is very much good for the cultivation of cotton. And this soil ki ek aur khasiyat hai, it becomes when temperature is extremely high, it becomes very dry, cracks develops, and when rainfall is there, it becomes very sticky. Then we have red soil. The red soil is found in the areas, and black soil is found in Maharashtra and Gujarat prominently. And red soil is found in the areas around the black soil region. And red soil is same, formed due to igneous and metamorphic rocks, volcanic eruption we can say, old crystalline rocks we can say. And this soil is not fertile, but yeah, if we provide water to this area, this soil can be made fertile. Then we have dastic soil, yeah, sandy soil, dry soil, sandy here, dryness here, temperature is high here, rainfall is extremely less here. So not at all so much fertile soil, but wherever oasis is there, we can grow crops. Otherwise, bushes, thorns, cactus, etc. grow there. Then we have mountainous soil. Mountainous soil actually varies according to height. It is not same everywhere. अगर हम mountain के foothills की बात करते हैं, we have fertile soil. We have more humus as compared to topmost part of a soil. And mountainous soil is basically found in the mountainous areas. Jammu Kashmir is there, Uttarakhand is there, northeastern states are there. And then we have which soil is left? Laterite soil. Laterite soil is also known as a blocky soil, and laterite soil is formed due to leaching process. And what is leaching? Leaching is the removal of the upper layer of soil because of heavy rainfall. Laterite soil is found in those areas where amount of rainfall is very heavy. That is western part of Western Ghats and northeastern states. In these two areas, we receive very heavy rainfall. That's why we have laterite soil. And जब भी laterite soil होगी, वो ज़्यादा fertile नहीं होगी. बिकॉज वहां पे बहुत बारिश है, बहुत बारिश की वजह से जो अपर लेयर है वो रिमूव हो जाती है, वो खत्म हो जाती है. सो दीज ऑल आर द वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ सॉइल. बट हमारे कंट्री में क्या है, इवन सॉइल नीड्स टू बी कंजर्व्ड. सो लेट्स सी हाउ कैन वी डू इट.
soil erosion and soil conservation. Soil erosion is defined as subsequent washing down of topsoil. These are caused again by two ways, and they are: one is human activities like deforestation, overgrazing, construction and mining, and the other is through natural forces like wind, glacier, water, and where there is soil erosion, simultaneously there is also soil formation. So if soil goes from one place, it will go and accumulate in
So very definitely, अगर किसी जगह पे erosion is taking place, soil is getting eroded, तो definitely somewhere it is getting deposited also. तो यहाँ से soil उड़ के जा रही है, तो उड़ के हवा में तो रहेगी नहीं, because of gravity it has to come down, and wherever deposition would take place, it means वहाँ पे new soil is getting formed.
some other place as well. And during rainy season, you can see how the running water cuts through the clay soils and they form deep channels.
And these deep channels are known as gullies. Gullies are formed whenever rainfall is heavy and the deep cutting is there.
It's known as gullies. So if you look at this picture, gullies are something like this. Now there's something called sheet
And then we have badland. Badland is when in any area there are number of gullies, it turn into badland. For example, Chambal. Chambal is a badland. So जब एक area में बहुत badland हो, then we call it as ravines. So gullies, number of gullies, badland, and number of badlands we call it as a ravines. So Malwa Plateau is ravine actually area.
erosion. It means a complete sheet of topsoil is washed away. And how does that happen? If there is a water flow on a large area, so in irrigation sometimes soil erosion.
So sheet erosion actually take place when there is a rainfall continuously over a large area, but rainfall is not so heavy. Heavy नहीं है, but continuously है. मतलब बारिश बूंदाबांदी हो ही जा रही है. What would happen? Topsoil would be washed away. Such type of process is known as sheet erosion. Upper layer of land, upper layer of soil would be washed away.
Is also caused due to wrong way of plowing. So you have to plow in a straight manner. So if you do it in an uneven manner, so they will form deep channels and gullies will be formed, and that will actually take away the water, and with water soil will be eroded. Now there are ways to avoid soil erosion. So one such way is terrace cultivation. So it is mainly practiced.
So these are the conservation methods. How can we do it? First is terrace farming. Terrace farming means by making steps on the mountainous area. Up to some extent, we can reduce the flow of water and we can reduce the speed of degradation of soil.
In areas of western and central Himalayas. So what they do is, in between the crops, they'll grow a strip of grass. And what that grass does is, it holds the soil together and doesn't let the soil flow from each column to another. And this method is called strip cropping. So
Strip cropping means strips में, lines में crops को grow करना, ताकि कहीं पे भी ज़्यादा पानी, कम पानी, कोई water accumulation वगैरह ना हो.
these are some of the methods to stop soil erosion. Now everything in this world has pros and cons. Now if we have to benefit something out of it, we also have to be aware of their consequences as well as their solutions. And with this,
So with this, we have done the revision. Anyone having any doubt from this now, tell me.